Where is the money going to come from? Is this capital expenditure going to be coming again from the borrowings? So higher borrowings again means there are going to be higher interest outlay. Next is the revenue expenditure, which is supposed to grow at 10.7%. This growth is good. We believe that it isn't actually, the good part is not growing at something like say 20%, which is good. Now to moving on to the tax revenues part. Now tax revenues are supposed to grow at 20% and non-tax revenues are supposed to grow at 32%. To throw more light as to where are these income or where is this tax money going to be collected, I'd like to invite my friend Hiten Chhabria. He will take on as to where is this tax money going to come across.
Thank you, Prabdeep. Before I get into the in-depth analysis of the budget, I would like to highlight the aspects of the budget which makes the Aam Aadmi, the Mango people, pick the Economic Times and review it. That is the direct tax and the indirect tax. In the direct tax, we can see, as compared to the previous year, there has been an increase in the exemption slab from 1.8 lakhs to 2 lakhs. Also, the new slabs for tax rates is 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs would be charged at 10%, 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs would be charged at 20%, and about 10 lakhs would be charged at 30%. There has been a very big unexpected change in the indirect tax. The excise duty has been increased by 200 basis points. The service tax also has been increased by 200 basis points, whereas the security transaction tax is being reduced by 25 basis points. Moving on to gold, the custom duty on gold has been doubled. We can see that the non-standard gold has raised from 5% to 10%, and for standard gold, it has been increased from 2% to 4%. Now we've categorized the budget impact into 5 broad categories. The first being taxpayers, consumers, business, economy, and investors. Moving on to the taxpayers. Everybody was expecting that the direct tax code would be implemented from this year, but it did not happen. According to us, we have moved, the changes in the tax slab are the first move towards implementing direct tax from a back end. If you see the first draft of the direct tax code, it said that the tax limit, exemption limit should have been of 2 lakhs. That's what we've implemented this year. It also stated that there should not be any tax difference between male and female, which is again implemented this year. Moving on to what are the benefits that the taxpayers would get from this budget. As rightly stated, there would be a per annum savings of 2,060 rupees. For the exemption bracket. Also, 22,660 rupees would be saved for the tax bracket of 10 lakhs. Also, the senior citizens benefits, the age has been reduced to 60 years. Moving on to the consumers. The most important hit that would be on the pockets of the consumers. A research stated that there would be an increase in the consumer durables and home appliance prices by 3 to 4%. Also, there would be increase in the prices of small ticket items such as chocolates and ice creams. If you see the average expenditure for a person, for an household earning 1 lakh per month, the average expenditure which would increase would be of 16,000 per year. Moving on to investors. In the last decade, the first enhancement which has come in terms of tax rebate in forms of equity investment is been by the introduction of the Rajiv Gandhi Equity Scheme. Now let's get into why did Mr. Pranav Mukherjee come up with this scheme. A research conducted stated that there are 1.5 crore individuals who do not have Demat account and they fall into the income bracket of 2 lakh to 10 lakhs. Also, we know another statement by World Gold Council stated that the private holdings of gold in India is worth 5 lakh crores. As everybody knows that gold has a sentimental value. Everybody invests in gold, but it is a dead investment. The reduction in the security transaction tax, the introduction of the Rajiv Gandhi scheme, the increase in the custom duty, and the application of TDS on purchase of gold worth about 2 lakhs is a way of diverting the funds into the equity markets. Another important change this year has been the opening of the Indian bond markets to the qualified institutional investors. The restrictions on venture capitalists to invest in only 9 sectors also has been removed, which makes a very significant impact to promote business innovation in terms of small enterprises. The disinvestment target of 40,000 crore has been reduced to 30,000 crore. But if you see the figures last year, we only achieved an actual receipt of 1,145 crores approximately, which is just 3% of the target. So will we achieve this target this year is a question mark. Now I would like to call upon my friend Prabdeep to throw some light on business and economy.